quickly act as a guide and give you, expert advice based on that 12 plus years of training data. Then we have our live capture tool. This allows us to find your customers that are influencers because they tend to be cheaper, easier to work with, and more authentic collaborators all around.
Right.
We have our search tool to analyze creator profiles beyond. Campaign management tools to track the results and scale the outreach, measure the ROI.
Okay.
And Upfluence Pay, our payment solution, allows you to pay creators.
Okay.
So we can help you run end-to-end campaigns. We also have an MCP, which we just launched to integrate with all the AI platforms out there, as well as an API if you ever wanted to pull our data into other sources. But that said, what we're going to do to start is create a campaign. And the way we start that is by building it using Jace, our AI within Upfluence, to read your website.
Okay.
We do that. This will allow us to pull in some data here about everything. So you'll see here, when it loads. Sometimes it takes a second. All right, so we have, manufacturing tools and equipment, home decor is kind of things that it's suggesting. It's done a good job of reading everything. Then we have goals, budgets, everything along the way. Jace is suggesting targeting to help us launch and scale our influencer effort, as well as target the right influencers to engage with. So Jace has suggested Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, which I think is a great starting point.
Can I interrupt really quickly? Just ask you a quick question about so for influencers, for the type of product lines that we're selling, do you see that as a viable, realistic angle that would play? Because a lot of the influencer stuff that I've seen is makeup and clothing and stuff of that nature. So I'm curious about how you guys feel that this kind of would play.
So if you are targeting contractors,
yep,
and you're viewing your business as a B2B play,
yep,
it's going to be more challenging.
Right. So for this angle, it's really about it's about direct to consumer for this angle.
You can do both, but you're going to have more immediate results, and it's going to be more of a trackable, measurable channel.
Okay.
With direct to consumer. If you're doing B2B, then it becomes mostly an awareness play, typically.
Right. So if that's the way that I would look at it is, okay, so then this is focused on the consumer, and then any spin-off or branding that plays out in this when I make my direct connections, then that's great as far as the business category. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. And we have people who do both. I think that the broader you can make it, the easier it is. We can set up compensation, including fixed payment, affiliation, if you're on Shopify, which I think from what I saw you might be currently. I don't know if that'll change.
We're not, but I'm looking. We're not on Shopify, but I'm looking into it now too.
Okay, no worries. So you'd be able to potentially track sales and do affiliation in Upfluence, depending on which e-commerce CMS you're using. You'd be able to generate and pay affiliate commissions, give them influencers potentially a selection of products to choose from if you're trying to promote certain product lines. So all of this is in service of basically setting up a campaign, and Jace will create a brief to tell the influencer what you're looking for from the outset here.
Okay.
And so what we're able to then do once Jace creates this is launch this onto our marketplace of over 100,000 opted-in creators, and we're then able to start to reach out to people as well to engage with them from there.
Okay.
And so Jace will do some searches for us now that we've built the campaign. So we're able to come in and build based on your brand. We have 6 example searches. We can look up people talking about major project builders and renovation guides, and we'll see what this is suggesting here in a second. So we have renovation, installers, mechanical, retrofits, site work, blueprints. Jason's got a little bit larger in size on the influencers than I might have, so I'm going to go a little wider net here because I have more, as you can see. So if I go on Instagram looking about these topics in Canada with an email, we have 1.4 thousand influencers talking about these specific topics, and then we'd be able to start to analyze them and see what their audience demographics looks like, suggested prices for one post, recent content, how engaged their audience is, all the data you could ever need to determine if they're the right fit for your campaign.
Okay.
Are we the first influencer tool that you're checking out?
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. So if you're checking out any other tools, you'll want to make sure that they have the ability to geolocate the influencers if you're targeting Canada.
Yeah, that's huge.
That often is a challenge.
Okay.
And you're also going to want to make sure that they, have the ability for you to analyze any creator profile. And the reason I say that is, as you're doing this, I'm sure you've seen everyone puts a work with us, become an affiliate, all those kind of links on their website. You can do that in Upfluence, but if the person has to sign up to be on their network, they can't be analyzed by you otherwise.
Okay.
That said, once we found the right influencers in Upfluence, then it's simply a matter of selecting them and starting to reach out to them via that campaign we created.
Okay.
We're able to pop those influencers in, and then we can reach out to them. We integrate with Google and Microsoft emails, so you're reaching out as you, and it would be just a matter of sending over that communication that Jace has written, which I'll show you here in a second. So now that my creators are loaded in, I can send over the first email that says, hey, we want to work with you. Here's what we're looking to do. Here's a link to apply. And then it's off to the races. Jace has written this communication for us, has also written automatic follow-up emails that will go out to ensure that more creators are involved in your campaigns. And then if you have any questions at any point, we have Jace available here, so you can always ask questions from Jace about your particular campaign, who's involved, budgets, all of that kind of stuff here as well. But what will happen as you're going is you're going to be able to then at a glance know where your influencers are at, how many you invited, who submitted drafts, all of that here. You'll be able to gather drafts of the content ahead of time. So you'll be able to accept it, deny it, download it, send it over to Hootsuite, manage the whole process seamlessly there. And then we'll track conversions potentially, link clicks, as well as all the content. So this will show you at its highest level, the likes, reach, impressions, engagement, and awareness that's been generated, what the audience data looks like around the content, and all the posts ordered by date or highest total engagement in just a couple clicks. And then lastly, once you verify that the influencer has done the ask, the last step is paying them. Upfluence Pay is a wallet system powered by Stripe. You're able to pay 50 influencers at a time, and this allows you to gather any kind of compliance documents and scale payments in a very repeatable, intelligent way.
Okay.
That said, that's the high-level overview of Upfluence. I know you're looking to start, potentially a program and kind of scale it. So what questions do you have for me?
So budgetary for the system and budgetary for the influencers. Maybe we could go a little bit more on that.
So for the system itself, fingering here. So for Upfluence itself, we operate on a software as a service model with Canadian pricing here being $15.86 per month.
Okay.
For everything end to end. It is an annual commitment, so it's billed monthly, so it'd be $19,827 in total.
Okay.
And as far as budgets, I think the real trick is to spend as much as you're comfortable spending for as long as you can, and not to do it, if you're going to do it for a month, number one, you don't need a tool. If you're going to do it with 2 influencers, you don't need a tool. But also, if you're going to do it for a month or with 2 influencers, you're not going to necessarily get the lift, the awareness, and the results that would drive success in the long run. So it's hard to put an exact number on it, but to give you an example, our agency team would typically spend $20,000 to $30,000 in a 3-month span on influencers alone, depending on the type of product and everything that we're looking to do.
And so for me, it's the branding element is kind of a secondary. For me, the focal point is to drive sales. I've never delved into this marketplace for that, so I just don't really know or have data that can tell me the storyline behind what to kind of anticipate.
Makes sense. I think that it's definitely doable driving sales and powering it through influencers. I just think the time horizon is something to be aware of, in that when we run a campaign of this ilk on our agency team, it takes 4 to 6 months to get to the maximum return.
Gotcha.
Because a lot of people, especially in home improvement, they're not buying right now.
Right.
They don't need a toilet.
Right.
Right? But next month their toilet breaks. And they're capable of repairing it. Or they're a DIYer and they're planning the next project. Or
Right.
they're doing a remodel next month and that budget comes up and they're finally starting to think about that. So
yeah, I think I think you hit the nail there. The DIY is probably. I was doing some deep dive analytics on marketplaces and who to go to first, and a lot of the metrics that are surprising is that the DIY actually has the capacity to sell more than even new construction and stuff like that. So, so even beyond builders and stuff. And so I think those
can definitely help. We've worked with many in the home improvement space over time, so it's definitely doable. It's just a matter of
hitting the right product, right?
Yeah, making sure you have enough oomph behind it.
Yeah,
I guess as much as that is.
Okay.
That said, I know you start September 1st, so I can send this over as the presentation we went over and the pricing.
Thank you.
I know it's going to be some time, probably till you're looking to launch an influencer campaign. Do you have any sense? Is this something for 2027 or?
Yeah, I would honestly, I would anticipate it's a 2027 play, because the first 3 months is all about rollout and executing and getting all the systems and stuff. Launching a company, you generally don't start with a mega campaign until you got everything kind of ready to go. So
totally makes sense.
Yeah, so I think you're on point with that. I think we'd be looking at 2027 kind of strategy for something like this, but I'm very serious about looking at it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So that said, we can always revisit, first couple weeks of 2027, talk about what that looks like from there.
Perfect.
But I'll send all this over in the interim, and please reach out with any questions.
Thank you. I really appreciate your time. This has been really helpful.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Kevin.
Okay.
Be well and have a great weekend.
You too. Thanks, Dan. Bye-bye.